no kids. I got my own motion going
Red
on.
flag.
Huh?
What?
Go ahead.
Nah, go ahead. What you about to say?
Why do listen? I know like having sex before marriage is bad, but it's 2022. Like, what has gone on in your life that you have not had a kid?
I don't have kids.
You're different. Like, but for men, it's just kind of like, why don't you have a kid? What happens?
Because I don't want a kid yet.
Maybe
I'm responsible. What do you?
It's not responsible. Like, especially if a nigga's like mad.
So we see a lot of this, right? And this is picking back off the other video that a lot of people is chiming in on the that I posted maybe a day ago. It's a different set of rules, right? There's almost an expectation that a man is supposed to have kids. By the time you get to a certain age, 30 plus, there's just an expectation that you have done the same things they did. And this is not a thing, that's not a gender thing. This is not saying that, in this case, we highlighting a woman saying this. In the other video was a man saying this, right? This is not to say that it's a gender thing. It's an expectation thing that keeps our culture down, right? And we're just highlighting this in the Black community right now, but I'm sure you can find several other videos of it being, in other races. But to the point, I think what happens here a lot is when you make your choices in life and you're not able to sometimes admit, yeah, maybe I did this out of order. Maybe I shouldn't have done this like I did it. What ends up happening is you, instead of confronting that and understanding that and internalizing that and saying, yeah, I could have done things better. I could have planned this out more, especially when you come across someone with multiple children, right? That at that point, it's like you you didn't learn the first time you can understand things happen, and the world understands things happens the first time. But when it's 2, 3 times now, so what we have now is people trying to shift the narrative. You're trying to use shame and the guilt in order to make it seem like there's something wrong with a man. Because when the woman said the same thing, I don't have kids. Oh, you're different. No explanation for why she's different. No explanation. So she's different when it happens when a woman when a woman is 30 plus and she's not having kids. That's her using her discernment. But it's somehow awful, sometimes something wrong with the man when a man executes that same sort of level of discernment. So listen, before we continue, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss no uploads. Still going strong, still trying to do 2 a day for the end of the year, right? If you're just seeing my face right now and you've been subscribed, then I've had conversations with day ones who, have said, why haven't I seen your videos, or unsure if I'm still making videos. That's because the notification bell has been turned off and YouTube does whatever YouTube wants to do. So that's why I make it a point to say in the beginning of every video, just take a minute, go check, see as a little, hey, is it still on? Yes, no. I don't know if we want to start a poll to see how many times your notification bell has been turned off. But if you're not getting notifications, legit notifications when I post, and it's usually 2 a day, 2 videos, 2 shorts, you're not seeing that, then yeah, check the notification bell. But again, back to the video, and we'll play this again so we can do a deeper dive into it. We see this occurring. I'm finding more and more of these stories where it's almost as if we have to drop the bottom out, right? In the sense of comparing our lives and what success means. We can't rise to higher heights. Right? Once you have a kid, you have a kid. Right? That's what it is. There's nothing you can do to change that fact. You've had a kid. So instead of understanding that, it changes the dynamic of your life. It changes how you are relationally to other people. What we try to do in order to equate everything, we drop the bottom out. We now make it seem as if something is wrong with you if you're 30 and you haven't had a child, but only for men. Now it's a thing about commitment issues. Now it's not a thing about men simply listening to what has been constantly happening throughout the Black male community, understanding that, hey, having a child early, having a child with the wrong person, and this is genderless, right? Having a child with the wrong person will significantly change the direction of your life. It only makes the most sense in the world to lay out your plans and say, I personally, I want a child, I want a kid, but I want it in the right way, in the way I've deemed the right way, according to my plan. And if I can't get those, then I shouldn't just do it because I've hit a certain age. In as I'm saying that, I guess it makes sense when you live your life by the numbers, where numbers and time, by numbers I mean time, is categorically important to you. That if a woman is saying by this age she doesn't have a child, I can see why you would look at her and say, girl, you serious? Because it becomes harder and harder as you get older. Yet what we saw here in this very video is nothing like that. You're different. It's you being discerning. It's you making a choice. It's you understanding that there aren't any good men out there. There are only real choices for you to have children with. So we applaud you, but him, something wrong. There's got to be something wrong.
Ain't got no kids. I got my own motion going
Red
on.
flag.
Huh?
What?
Go ahead.
The woman on the right was already confused. She was already confused. Like, why would you even chime in like that? How is that a red flag? In the things that we actually look at to say if someone is cooked, because there's a real red flag, there's a real issue. This is so far from it. This is so far from like removed from anything like that. From understanding, hey, no, you're just using, and I think most men see this clearly, right? And we're just saying most, because when you're on the opposite side of the message, or you're the one that's being preached to, when you're constantly told that you guys are responsible for all these broken homes. Okay, check. I don't want to do that. You're responsible for all this pain and suffering in the community. Okay, check. I don't want to do that. You see how expensive it is to raise a child. And if you know you're not there financially, I get it. You just a check. I don't want to do that. So it's for us, it's just discernment. It's us looking and saying, this makes sense. If I can't do it when I'm ready, if I can't do it in the circumstances that I've laid out, and sometimes, from man to man, that's different. There's nothing wrong with that. When we actively try to shame people for being responsible, because that's what it is. When we say that someone's acting with discernment, it's them being responsible. Let's make no bones about it. It's just responsibility. It's the effect of responsibility. And sometimes when you are lacking it, it shines brighter. So you say things like this rather than understanding that I didn't do it the way I would have liked. I suffered for it because things were harder. Is not to take away from saying that the kid is not a blessing. A kid is not something that is something to be lauded. It could be the best thing that ever happened in your life, but it could be the worst circumstances in your life. It's the same thing. Two things can absolutely be true in this case. This is not to shame people. It's not to take anything away from people that have had kids. But at the same time, why is there concerted effort or growing concerted effort to shame men, specifically men, that they don't have kids by a certain age? It's that man's life. It's up to him to decide how he wants to live it, what makes sense for him. Full stop. But listen, if you think I missed something, let me know down in the comments. If you see videos on your screen right now, take a look at those and let me know what you think about those as well in those videos. And if you listen to the sound of my voice right now, don't you want to get on the train early? Subscribe and be like, hey, I was there early, right? Because we're gonna keep going. We're gonna show what discipline means. We did this for almost 6 months. The end of the summer, make 6 months of just straight 2 videos a day, and we're gonna try to do that next year, for the full year. So don't you want to say, yeah, I was there in the beginning, right? I was one of the day ones, right? If not, subscribe anyway. I'll see you in the next one.